Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Jazz on Sports. I'm your host, Jazz and Pollock, and today we're going to be talking about a star-studded filled weekend of sports. There was a lot of things that happened this weekend, from Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson to we seeing the Chiefs are now defeated. They finally were handed their first loss of the season in Buffalo. So we're going to get started. So the first topic is definitely Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on Netflix. The first time ever that Netflix decides to air a very big fight, if you want to call it that. I watched the fight, was very disappointed, but honestly, who expected that fight to go any other way than it did? Very big money grab. Mike Tyson got paid $20 million just to fight Jake Paul. This is all Jake Paul's idea. Jake Paul ended up winning with by decision. And looking at the fight, for Mike Tyson to be his age, and I'm just laughing about it because it's hilarious, but just for Mike Tyson to be 58 years old and still moving around the way he did was very phenomenal. But we could tell Mike Tyson was tired. Man's old. The man's, literally legs are gone and things of that nature. Jake Paul, to me, was really much, he was running, getting a little hits. He landed more punches, obviously, than Mike Tyson. But there was some times in the night where I saw, Mike Tyson land some punches. But overall, the fight was very mediocre. It was very, just the talk of the town. Everyone is just very comical and things like that. But Jake Paul ends up winning. There's a lot of conversation about who should Jake Paul fight next. He wants to challenge Gervonta Tank Davis for some reason. They're in two different weight classes. I want to see Jake Paul fight a real boxer, like a actual boxer that understands how to box. Somebody like Canelo, I know that's been the conversation. I don't think he wants to fight Canelo. Canelo is a very skilled boxer. Him wanting to fight these other people saying Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. I don't think you want to fight guys like that. Those guys are legitimate fighters. They don't take it for granted. And just the whole sport of boxing right now, I don't think it's fair for the people who are built to do this and who really put their lives on the line to play this sport, to fight in this sport. Even though Jake Paul is doing this for comedic reasons, doing this for, just entertainment purposes, but I do think the sport is somewhat becoming a joke. And it should never become a joke, because I think that we need to actually take that seriously, because there's a lot of legends like Mike Tyson, like Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, etc., who have done a lot of great things in the sport of boxing, Tyson Fury as well. So I would like to see Jake Paul actually respect the sport of boxing and really fight a real boxer if he claims to be a very good boxer. I do think he needs to go in there and fight a real boxer. That's my opinion on that. Then we get into the Gators versus LSU. We had a big college football weekend on Saturday. A lot of big games. I'm really happy that my Florida Gators got a big upset in the swamp against the number 22 ranked LSU. LSU has had our number for the past few years. They've been beating us, I think, two or three times, 2 straight years. And I'm really happy that for everything that went on, everything that has happened in the season, with so many questions if Billy Napier will be our head coach, a lot of things going wrong, us getting blown out last week at Texas, and for us to come back and get a very good win against a very good LSU team, the LSU team who was in the conversation of being in the college football playoff. I'm really happy that we got that win this weekend. The Colorado Buffaloes are 8-2 after a very convincing win against a Utah team. They will potentially, and I believe they will, play BYU in the Big 12 championship game. And I do have the Buffaloes winning that game. When we look at what Deion Sanders, so the first year they won 4 games. They didn't make a bowl game. Everyone was laughing. Everyone was kikiing and having their moment. They're 8-2, and those same people that were disrespecting him, disrespecting the program, and thinking like, "Oh, this team he's not going to do anything." They're 8-2 right now in year 2. So where are all the people that said they weren't going to do anything this year? I need to see you front and center giving your apologies and saying that he has turned this team around and put this team together. The defense has gotten a lot better. The offensive line has gotten a lot better. This team is just better. They are better equipped to play. And listen, if they're able to beat BYU, which I think they very much so can beat BYU, you don't think that they could potentially be in a spot for a playoff spot or in a playoff position? Yes, 100%. And the question is for the committee. I'm looking at how everything is shaping up. Again, I like to remind everyone that we are now in the 12 bracket system, not the 4 that we normally did. Now it's going to be 12 teams. We look at all 12 teams. Can we say out of every team in the top 12 right now currently, yes, you have Indiana who's making a strong case, but they have to go play Ohio State this weekend, which is going to be a huge game. You look at a lot of these teams. You look at Oregon, who escaped this weekend. You have a lot of teams that don't look as strong. There is not one college football team that I could say that they are on both sides of the bar the most dominant team in the country. This is wide open this year. We thought it was Georgia. Georgia teetered this year. Obviously, we saw them. They lost 2 games this season. And even in a Tennessee game, that game could have went any other way. Alabama, I don't really trust Alabama. I really don't. They are not the strong team. Oregon, again, escaped. Even though they're undefeated, they're still the number 1 ranked team. They're still teetering. You look at Texas. Texas did get destroyed by Georgia a couple of weeks ago. We're looking at a lot of these teams. Indiana, people keep raving about them. I'm not saying they are a bad team, but they do have to go play the competition. They have to go play Ohio State this weekend, and that's a big deal. But there's not one team in the nation that I would say this team is going to win it all. No, I think it's wide open, and as it should be. It should be where we need to see which teams are the best right now. And for Colorado, if I am the committee with Deion Sanders getting this team around with potential Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and then Shedeur Sanders and this team, why wouldn't you put them in? Just for the parity, just for the entertainment, I would put them in. But it's going to be a very interesting conversation about who they're going to put in because, they have their favorites. And I know Deion may not be their favorite. But if for entertainment purposes, I would definitely put the Colorado Buffaloes in the playoff. Next, we have the NFL. This is the last final topic of the day. We were looking forward to the Chiefs and Bills game. The Bills end up giving the Chiefs their first loss of the season. Very good game plan that the Bills had. It was very decent game. But again, when we looked at the Chiefs, and I have talked about this many times, the Chiefs, even though went undefeated, they're still the team to beat. They are still the defending champs looking for that three-peat. But this team did not look like a strong undefeated team. And of course, you go into the Buffalo Stadium where they are waiting to beat them and they're waiting to get their revenge. But again, as I say, even though it's a great win for Buffalo, to me, it does not matter until it gets to the playoffs because we know the Chiefs. Last year, we said, this Chiefs team, they look sketchy. They went on the road throughout the whole playoff to get to win another championship, and they did. So I'm looking at this like, oh, wow, that's a good thing. But at the same time, when that time comes, the Chiefs know how to turn the switch on and win. They know how to do that. They've been doing that for years now. As long as they have Andy Reid, as long as they have Patrick Mahomes, and then they have all these weapons, they're going to get it together. They're going to clean this up. They're going to be able to, as the season progresses, watch them. We just hope that the Bills or the Steelers or even the Chargers, you look at a Chargers team that's sitting at 7-3 right now. Justin Herbert's playing very good football right now, but the Chiefs are still the team to beat to me. They are still the team that everyone has to go through, and you would hope that they will go into this playoff, that we have one of those teams knock them off, but that all depends on the teams. You look at the Detroit Lions. To me, the Detroit Lions are the best team right now in football on both sides in each conference. They are stacked. They have a quarterback that can deliver the ball. They have probably the best offensive line in the country. They receivers, weapons everywhere. Even with Aiden Hutchinson out, the defense is still very good. But with them, it's the same thing. It's just a matter of, let's say you go play an Eagles team in an NFC Championship game. Let's say that happens. can you compete? They can 100%, but my prediction with that is definitely the Eagles and the Lions in an NFC Championship game. But there are teams in the NFC that I'm watching out for. I'm looking at a young, dangerous Cardinals team that I think everyone needs to watch out for. The Packers, even though I'm not disappointed that we're sitting at 7-3, but we are not a dominant 7-3 win team. But again, we are that's a playoff team. I look at the Eagles. The Eagles are getting it together. They're starting to get the pieces. Everything is starting to align. They're going to be very dangerous as the season progresses. The Rams could potentially be a team to look out for as well. The 49ers, they are sitting last in their division, which I did not see coming at all. There's a lot going on with the 49ers, and I think that is a big, big problem. The Vikings are still very much so alive. There's a lot of teams out there to watch out for, but you look at it, the two teams in the NFC right now that I have very good confidence in is the Lions and the Eagles. I think those are the two top teams right now competing, and Washington. Washington is still going to hang around, but right now I have the Eagles and the Lions in this. But there's a lot of teams as the season progresses. There's a lot of teams that we're going to be looking out for. Like I said, these Steelers look dangerous. The Chargers look dangerous. You still have the Houston Texans still lingering around. They're most likely going to win their division. You look at what's going on. You look at the Buffalo Bills, even the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are still in the hunt, and it does help that the Bengals did lose last night to give the Miami Dolphins, and the Miami Dolphins are picking up wins. So definitely watch out for them. They still have a lot of football to play, but there's a lot of teams out there, and I'm really excited about that. But as for the Chiefs are, to me, are still the team to beat, and they're going to get all the pieces aligned. Like, this is shaping up like, oh man, the Bills. I frankly do not care. It's a good win. It's a very good win. I'm glad that the Chiefs do go they're not going to go undefeated. That's awesome. But they're still 9-1. They still have Patrick Mahomes. They still have Travis Kelce. My concern is that Travis Kelce didn't have as big of a game like I would expect him to. The offense, they have weapons. They have D-Hop. They have Xavier Woods. They have so many weapons that they're going to utilize as the season progresses. They still have Chris Jones. They're still going to be that team. I mean, you would hope the Bills beat them in the playoffs. That's the biggest question for me. You would hope the Steelers beat them. You would hope these teams beat them when it comes playoff time. But that's yet to be seen. But that wraps up the show. Thank you all for your support and constant viewership. I'm grateful for all of you. I'm going to continue to give you guys content. Next week, I'm going to be talking about more. There's a lot more college football matchups coming up. There's a lot more NFL matchups coming up that I'm really excited about. And just breaking news before the show came on, the New York Giants will be benching Daniel Jones heading into this game. I'm really, you look at the Dallas Cowboys and the Giants, they're playing there. And we know Dak is out for the season, but you look at the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, they're going to be battling for who gets the third spot in the NFC East. And I would not expect that in a million years, even though how I feel about Dallas is not good. But for them to be battling for the third spot is really, really telling. But that wraps up the show. Thank you all. We'll see you next time for more. Make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to JazOnSports. Have a good day.